and rational and irrational numbers. Today we're going to talk about comparing and ordering real numbers. So you've got your notes packet ready. We'll fill in some blanks and we'll see how this works. So first of all, when we're comparing two values, we first convert the values to the same form. Then compare the values using an inequality sign such as less than or greater than. For example, here's a little chart where we're going to practice converting between the three forms of numbers by completing the table below. So I've already calculated each of these numbers, and here they are. So 1/3 turns into 0.3 repeating as a decimal, or 33 1/3%. 1/5 converts to 0.2 as a decimal, or 20%. 1/2 is 0.5 as a decimal, or 50%. And so on and so forth as you go through those numbers. So take a moment, fill those in, and you'll have those to refer to anytime you need to look up the decimal equivalent of a certain fraction or the percent equivalent of a certain fraction. All right, so let's compare these two values. So we're going to follow our rules. We're going to convert all of the numbers into a decimal. And now, by looking at them, we can see that negative 0.875 is because it's a bigger negative, it is less than negative 0.5. Then 0.035, that is less than 0.04 by a little bit. Negative 0.60 is actually greater than negative 0.75. And negative 1.5 is less than, oh, I've got to look at this. I've got 0.75 here. This should be negative 2.5. Good thing we caught that, huh? So the negative 1.5 is actually going to be a little bit bigger than negative 2.5. So that should be greater than. Okay, our next one, we're going to compare these two. So I've got those written out. I put them all as decimals. Now on a percent, to make that a decimal, you just move the decimal two places to the left, and so you've got 0.056 there. So if you think about it, 0.056 is a little smaller than 0.066. So this is going to be less than. 2.35 is a little bit bigger than 2.2. Negative 5 is a little smaller than negative 4.75. And 15.7 is greater than 15. So as you can see, if we convert them all to decimals or whatever the case may be, we can compare them quite easily. Now to get this, I just hit the pi key on my calculator and times it by 5 and rounded to the nearest tenth. What about ordering? Well, when we're ordering, we list all the values that can be ordered from least to greatest or greatest to least. Write some other keywords or phrases that could be used to below. So like least to greatest could be ascending, increasing, maximum to minimum, and then greatest to least could be descending, decreasing, or minimum to maximum. So order the following numbers from least to greatest. So you've noticed we've got negative 1.65, negative 1.51, or no, they're not negative, but 0.165, 0.151, 0.56. So first of all, I'm going to look in the tenths column. And I've got 0.1, 0.1, 0.5, 0.5, and 0.6. And they want us to go from least to greatest. So we're going to have to look at the 0.1s. They're the smallest of the two. Now I'm going to look at the hundredths column. I've got a 6 and I've got a 5. So that 5 is less than 6. So my smallest number is going to be that second one, 0.151. Okay, the next one is going to be 0.165. That's going to be my next biggest number. Now, so I'm going to kind of cross those off. Now the next one's, I'm going to choose between these two. So the next biggest number is going to be this one with a 2, because this 2 is a little bit smaller than 6. So 0.52 will be my next biggest, and then 0.5610, and then 0.605 will be my last one. So that's ordering it from least to greatest. All right, very good. Place these rational numbers on the number line. Well, I looked at the rational numbers and I converted them all to decimals. And now we just have to place them, right? Well, it's going to be hard to drag them, so we'll just kind of write, or maybe arrows. So let's start with the easy one. 5, that's going to go right here. -4, that's a pretty easy one. That's over here. So got a little arrow going there. -2.5, which would be right here. So that's that one. Then we got -4.6. So -4.6 is actually going to be right over here. We're a little lower than 4.5. The next one, 1.5. So 1.5 is going to be right here. And my last one, -2.525. So that's going to be a little more than -2.5. So that's going to go right there. Just going to really crowd that point right there. So there we go. We've got all 5 of them placed on the number line. All right, and we're going to do the same with these. So order these numbers from least to greatest. So I went ahead and put them down all as decimals. So which of these decimals? 5.3, so 7, 5.3, 5.94, or 5.35 is the smallest. Well, it's going to be 5.3. That's the smallest. The next smallest is going to be this one, 5.307, 5.307. The next one will be 5.35. And then my last one will be the 5.94, and it'll go in the last box right there. Okay, good job. Okay, we got some more. Well, let's go ahead and turn those into, we've got to turn those into decimals. So 157 divided by 20. 157 divided by 20 is 7.85. So this first one is 7.85. And I know that this last one is 7.8 repeating. So we got to keep that in mind. So and we're going from least to greatest. So of all of the decimals I have here, that 7.8 repeating is the biggest one. The next biggest one is at 7.85. And then if we look at these two, we've got 7.14, 7.14. So the next biggest one is going to be this one, 7.143. And then our smallest one will be 7.14. That'll be your 4 numbers. Okay, great. The next one, we've got to do the same thing. Make sure we didn't have any repeaters. So 117 divided by 20 is 5.85. So this is 5.85. And this last one is going to be not 5 point. And then you do 9 divided by 11 and you get, 0.81 repeating. So as I look over the landscape, I notice that this is my biggest number. So 5.85. then my 5.81, 5.81, those two are out, then 5.478, 5.478, and 5.47. So those are ordered from least to greatest. Okay, good work. Okay, we got a couple more here. Let's see, how many more examples do we have? This is our last example, so we better make it good. So 59 divided by 8 is, this one right here is 7.375. This number is 7.4, and the 4 repeats. And then I got these other two. So I notice that 7.4 repeating is my biggest number. Then as I go through the other numbers, 7.36, 7.375, it looks like that 7.375 right there is my next biggest number. Then I've got 7.36 and 7.321. 7.321. So there's my 4 numbers from least to greatest. So this is an ALEKS assignment, number 54, compare and order real numbers. And you probably need to show a little bit of work on this one because you have to write down the numbers in decimal form and then compare them. So good luck and thank you very much.